Scale is something I find truly harrowing. It's the reason why, as prejudiced as he might have been, Lovecraft's work really resonates with me, and with many others. The monolithic structures, cyclopean mountain ranges, and unfathomable depths of his twisted imagination have inspired countless other works, but a lot of them fall short of doing this type of imagery justice. Inside, as small as it is, has so much scope. Moving through the staggering architecture, you can't help but feel incredibly small. The facility seems to stretch infinitely out in all directions, and fundamental rules of the universe gradually mean less and less. It's oppressive, it's lonely, and there's not a single line of dialogue spoken in the whole game. All of this is conveyed through a perfect storm of environmental design, sound design, and a brilliant eye for lighting. Whether it's being chased by a pack of dogs or cautiously navigating the watery skeleton of the forgotten subterranean chambers, you're always on edge. It's something special when a game can elicit such natural reactions as opposed to trying to drag them out of you. And while the gameplay works very well with the overall tone of the game in moments like those, it can be a little inconsistent. There are a lot of ideas at play, and some work better than others. The moments where you have to escape a pursuer, or when you have to march in time with the drones, are amazingly tense. And then there are the inventive little mind control sections where you're forced to puppeteer these sad homunculi. But, of course, broken down old staples like time-wasting box-pushing puzzles are also mixed in for good measure. I use the term puzzle very loosely here, as there is nothing challenging or engaging about moving an object to a slightly out of reach ledge, or staying out of a spotlight while you raise a platform to cross a gap. These are just there to slow you down, and it destroys the pace and the tension in the moment. Sure, the idea of being caught in the searching glow of the security lights can be a bit unpleasant, as it is an insta-kill, but it doesn't make these sections any less tedious. This is never as obvious as when you're forced to do them as a crazy stampeding Cronenberg. You're barreling through reinforced concrete, splintering giant glass enclosures, and crushing dopes into fine jelly. But the game grinds to a halt in order to make you move stuff around to get through openings mere inches out of reach. Considering how grotesque the Cronenberg thing is, and how uncomfortable I felt while piloting it, it's baffling that they would stop this cinematic rampage to have you do more of the same stuff as before. I guess we're to assume that the kid is now in control of this seething biomass, and he's using the brute force to continue his escape. But that makes the actual act of assimilating with this tumorous mound feel pretty redundant. In the end, Inside is less of a game and more of an existential nightmare. It would be easy to say this experience is more style than substance, because it's true, but sometimes aesthetics are just as important. It manages in 2 hours to cultivate an atmosphere so powerful that it puts a majority of modern horror in both film and games to shame.